Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian report for the 28th of October, the ASX on the daily chart here. I'm still not quite sure about this particular pattern that we're looking at from this particular high here. There's a couple of ways that it could go. One of the things that confused me a little bit is that the move up through here is wave 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 here. 4 came back very close to this area here, but on the cash market there's quite a gap there. So on the cash market we've got 1 and 2 here, and we've gone up for 3 and back for 4 here, and then we're going up for 5 here. So this fifth wave here can have 1 and 2 still going in the third wave here. That could take us into here, and 4 and 5 here. So this whole, unless this high gets taken out here, all of this can still be a corrective move with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down here, an A and a B and a C up here for an A wave, a B wave in 3 waves, and then a C wave up here, as long as it doesn't take out that top there. I mean, it could take out that top and still be a B wave as well. But what we do really need to be important about is when this particular structure here finishes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then 5 here. So in the fifth wave here, we've got 1 and 2 going into the third wave. There'll be a fourth and there'll be a fifth. So when that finishes, that's going to be really important at this point here. Okay, one of the other things too that we'll go back to the other chart in a minute, but just while we're on this particular chart here, I just want to look at CBA as well. So with CBA here, it looks a little bit more promising because we've got 1 and 2 here, and a bit tricky to see in here, but there are 5 waves in this sequence here and 4 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So in this case here, getting 5 waves from this low here where it has pulled back a long way here, then well, we could still be in the same boat as well. This is what we need to work out. So we need to allow this 5 waves here to finish off, which will take us up into this space, and then we need, in both cases, we need to see how this pulls back here. If this pulls back in 3 waves here and then takes this top out here, then we know that we're in a bullish move. So we'll have we can look at that as wave 1 then, and back for wave 2. But we need to work through this bit here. But we also need to be mindful that, that we can come down from this point. It'd be the same with CBA here in terms of an A wave here at this point, and then an A and a B and a C up here for the top of the B wave. So yeah, we just need to be a bit careful when we get to that point. But in the meantime, let's go in and have a look at this little trend here where we're trading long in here. So I'm just looking at it at this stage in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Okay, so this little trend here is one of interest. So on the hourly chart here, from the wave 4 low here, we've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and I feel like we've got a long third wave coming in here. So I can count 5 waves up here for wave 1 and back for wave 2, and then up here for wave 1 and 2 there. I have made an adjustment here too. I did have this over here, but I'm putting it here now. And wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2, and this one here. We can look at this on the tick chart, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to get to here. So we need to move up from here, then a wave 4 across group 2 here, so just be mindful of that, and then wave 3, 4 and 5 here for this wave 3. So we still need the blue wave 3 here so far. So then there'll be wave 4 here, and then wave 5 here for wave 3 and 4 and then 5. So we've got a fair way to go with all of this, and it's looking quite good at the moment. We're in from wave 2 here to wave 3 here. We're kind of in the halfway mark here. The corrections here also point out corrections have been sharp. So as wave 2 should be in here. But when we get up to here, they'll change from here and they'll become more sideways in these instances here. So try not to lose money in these sideways correction. Be very sort of clear if you're going to be holding through them and holding that 40%, 38.2% retracement levels within those. I would like to take some profit with these at the 6.8 here, just to lock some in. We can move a bit further from that point, but let's just put this here at 6.8 because we know 6.8 is a profit-taking number, and we want to protect something at that particular stage there. We can also move the stop up as well, so just moving this stop up into this space here now. And yeah, that's all good. So we're getting into break even again. You could also still go long here again if you're not in the market here. You'll also have to, well, just go long here because you'll have to go for, normally would take the top out on 72 here, but you'll have to go through wave 4 again. So go long there if you want to. That's cool. So just on the tick chart for this here, this is 100 ticks. So from the low here, we got wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So I'm happy with all of this. I'm quite confident with this. Even though I'm not confident in the bigger picture, I'm confident in all of this as I was on Friday. So here I'm looking at this as 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here for this. Before I thought we may have had a little 1 and 2 in here and a 3 and 4 and 5, but it still may be the case, but then we've got this whole building process coming through here for, you know, wave 3, well, wave 3 of wave 3 of 3 of 3 of 3 here, and then quite a powerful little move in here. So this should pull back 38.2% from this low here. You can work that out, but it's still not finished for 3 and 4 here and 5 for this one. So there will be a whole series of wave 4s across this area through here. That's why we'll just take a little bit of profit at that point, and we'll look to get back in as well. We'll see how that structure sits at that point. Alrighty, we'll move on to the Hong Kong market and then India. So not spending a lot of time on Hong Kong. This is the hourly chart here. We've had wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Even though I'm looking for a bearish move from this point, I was figuring that there's also a positive possibility because of the other global markets. So in this case, we've been looking at it as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, and then up for 1 here. Pulling back for 2, so that's in play here. So we can now go long if a new high here is created. We can also look to, add on this here. I think we'll just look to add. We don't need this one here now, so we'll move that. We'll just add on top of these guys here as we go, okay, as tested support. So we're looking as tested support on 27,000 and 27,200. We're looking for, well, actually, what we can do, I mean, in here we've also got from 27,000, we've got 100, 200 and 300 here. So what we're actually looking for here in terms of the trading levels is we're looking for support on top of number 3 here. So what we'll do, and then that will set the target to 5 at that point. So I mean, you could build in positions here of 1 on 27,000, 1 on 100, 1 on 200, and then we wait and to see if one we get support on 300 here. Because we get support on 300, then we know we get to 500. So if you wanted to, just we could build in on this level and this on all of these. So we can put in 4 positions here if you wanted to. And we'll look at the structure as we go for that there as well. You might not want to go that heavy on it, but because we got 5 here, then we should get the same length over here. So we should be looking up at 28,000 here. So if you're going to build in, then this is the beginning of the trend is the right place to do it as such. So I think we've done all the right things here. We could have bought down here, but we waited for confirmation because there was a bigger bearish picture sort of looming, and it still may be the case as well. We haven't taken out these highs here just yet either. Over to India. Right, so I've made another mistake here. So what we were looking at originally, just to go back over all of this, is that from wave 2 here to the top of wave 3 here, roughly, we were looking for 38.2% pullback. So look, it's finally in here. So that's okay. It still didn't make much difference to us because but now I have to adjust this here. So that becomes the B wave here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or an A and a B and a C here for 4 and down for 5 here. I'm not quite sure, I need to look at that, but that comes in here now. I don't know why I didn't just move that. So yeah, we can go long now. We can just go long in here. We can also go long here. We are looking for 5 waves into this space here for this though. That's the thing. Because we will get, in one way or another, I've got to sort this out here, we should get 5 waves into this space, and then an A and a B and a C through here. It should stay there as support and then move up from that point. So taking perhaps 70% of it up here was not such a bad idea. And then we'll look to get back in. I mean, the thing is too, is that this little move here pulled back to 38.2%. So that means that when this one comes in from here, wherever that is, that's going to pull back into 38.2% as well. So because it did it here, it's likely to do it over here. So, but we'll find out where that is at that point. So, I mean, taking it, I'll just put part profit here, but it's taking a bigger chunk of it. You know what I mean? Not normally 50% or 40% or 30%. It's on the other side of the 50, so up in the 70 or the 80. I think it's nice to leave a little bit of skin in the game, as long as it doesn't eat up your profits. The time you don't want to be break even when you get back down to here. So give that some consideration. And then we'll look to get in either on this one here. We'll look to move in from this side over here like this. But we may also, now that we know how wave 4s are reacting, because all these were at the beginning of the trend were sharp as wave 2, so wave 4s are going to be a bit more sideways now coming up here because the trend is losing a little steam. And yeah, so we can put that, I'll just keep that out of the way here for the moment. We'll look at, as this progresses, we'll take a closer look at this to see if we're actually going to be pushing up higher to 12,000. But 8 is always a profit-taking number, so it's always good for us to take some there as well. All right, that's that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.